YouTube. Man, I was supposed to have left at 5:30 this morning, and I didn't. I left at like 7. And so by the time I made over to Houston, the cutoff was like 4 o'clock. I made over like 4:04. And like I said, yeah, we stopped receiving at 4. But they started back again the night at 11. I was like, okay. Because the hours were 2300 to 1600. So what I said I'm going to do, I'm going to get up about 4. I'm going to head over there, drop this off, and then I'm going to go pick up my other load, and then I'm going to go head home. And I'm going to do that. So I called the Freightliner back today and, told him about what's going on with the truck. And so the guy told me, he said, yeah, I'm pulling the invoice up now. So he pulled the invoice up, and he didn't understand some of the verbiage in it. So he said, let me call you back. Let me go see if the mechanic that worked on the truck, if he's here, so he can break it down to me what he was talking about. So he called me back, told me what was going on. He said the reason that they didn't change the part, because what they did was, after they fixed what they fixed, the truck still wasn't shifting right. So he took off, like, they calls it an actuator, right? Actuator. So they took it off, and he said it was rusty, so he sprayed it and put it back on after drying it off, and the truck was shifting fine. And true enough, the truck was shifting fine. It was shifting fine all the way up until Tuesday. And so I said, well, I'll just make it through the week. Last week, and I just call them, like, maybe Wednesday or Thursday or something like that. That way, if they got to order it, they can go ahead and order it, and then when I come in, it'll be there. But the guy tells me that they had went on ahead and ordered the part anyway. So I was like, okay. He was like, but the only reason they didn't, tell me about it was like, they had already told me the truck was finished. I'm like, nobody told me that they ordered the part, because if I knew that, I'd be like, well, y'all just put the part on the truck, no big deal, no harm, no foul. I'm empty, so, it is what it is. So I told him, I said, well, I don't know if I'm going to make it there before they cut off tomorrow, Friday. So I just get it Saturday. And I just go ahead and just try to put it on Saturday if they can't squeeze me in the shop. Which, it ain't like, going to, maybe a TA or something where, they doing some basic stuff. They may be doing some more. But then again, maybe I'm, lucky. Maybe they can, squeeze me in. If not, I'll just jump on it myself. Because if it's the part that I think, which it probably is, I think it's like 4 bolts on the side of the transmission. And so take them 4 bolts out, and I got a gasket on it, so put some sealing around the gasket, put it back up there. It has 4 airlines running into it, 2 at the top, and then 2 coming in from the bottom. So do that, and it should be ready to rock and roll. So yeah, that's that. So he told me the part was like $110. So I'm like, well, it ain't too bad. So it's a lot better than what it cost to replace, the whole thing. So, but yeah, man. Let me tell you what happened today. I was riding. I was on I-12, and I signaled to get in the left lane. It was a car coming up, right? But what I like to do, I don't like, because of just how my truck does, I like to let all traffic go before I hop in the left lane. Or it's a big gap, I'll just hop in, because I know it takes the truck a while to kind of build up the acceleration. And so the car hopped in the right lane. So there was a truck in front of me in the right lane that I was getting ready to pass. There was a gap. So he jumps in the gap and slams on brakes. And he's looking in the side mirror as he does it. And I'm like, all right, cool. If you feel I cut you off, fine. Get in front of me, flip the bird, keep it moving. Don't do something stupid like that. Because my life and your life could have been gone just like that. Right? Just being Just being stupid. Because I'm like, you see my turn signal on as I'm getting over. It's a gap. I'm getting over. I checked, it's enough clearance, I got over. But you're doing something stupid like that, man. Come on, man. It's just dumb. It's stupid. And then, like, you know, they passed the situation with Congress or Senate or whatever the judicial process is to raise the minimum insurance up on trucks. And I'm like, it's stupid stuff like this, man. And me personally, I look at insurance companies as a racket anyway, because just think about it like this. If you never had an accident, right? You never had an accident. And let's say you get to the age where you just stop driving, right? You just don't drive no more. I should be able to cash out that policy, minimum. Let's just say minimum $250,000, $250K. I should be able to pass that now. What do I don't get no reward for safe driving. Right? I don't get no reward for safe driving. But that's why I say it's a racket, man. And it's just an additional tax, man. That's all it is, It's just an additional expense. And like yesterday, I saw a video, and I thought it like happened yesterday because it happened in Birmingham. And I rode through Birmingham yesterday, and the traffic was stopped. And I was just thinking, well, like, you know what? Maybe it's maybe it was an accident, but it wasn't an accident. Maybe I was thinking it was an accident. And so when I seen that video, I was like, oh snap, that was the accident. And so what happened was, it was a car merging onto the interstate. And instead of like running the lane out, like they got over and they hit another car. And the other car went all the way across the interstate, ran into a car hauler. Hit the car hauler. The car hauler ran into the side of the bridge. Ran to the side of the bridge, went over the bridge. Like the whole truck went over the bridge. And so I was asking my mom and my father, I was like, hey man, did y'all happen to see that on the world news? And they was like, no, we didn't see that. And so come to find out, it happened last week. And come to find out that, based on the article I read, the driver had passed away. And I was like, man. And he passed away. And the car that initiated the accident, they kept going. They didn't stop. They just kept going. Now, if you hit somebody's car, my first instinct, if I hit somebody's car, I'm dead in that mirror. Especially if I hit you on my driver's side. If I see that car go, run into a truck, and the truck goes over the bridge, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. Because now, at least, I'm not going to make it, you're not making the situation any better. Like, you're going to feel down. But now, you just keep going. So now it's almost like you unconscionable. You don't have a conscience. You have no remorse for anything. Because you saw this whole thing. And the video footage shows that the car just kept going. And like, it's stuff like that, man. It's stuff like that. So that's why, man, that's why I always in these videos, man, would be safe, man. Because like, that was just stupid, man. I'm carrying like some steel, and that stuff can just come through here. Just like, come on, like just. And you looking in the passenger side mirror just stupidly. Like, flip me the bird, man. and be gone. Do that and just be gone. Because I'm just like, I don't know, man. You know, I can sit here and ramble on and on about why people like drive the way that they do. I mean, just for no reason. But I mean, I guess, you know, at the end of the day, you always gonna have people that feel a sense of just want to be lawless. You know, just a sense of lawlessness. And you just have to. I mean, it just is what it is. But it's just like, man, it's just a split second, man. It's crazy. It really is. I mean, it's just like, you know, when I was in Atlanta and I had to lock up on brakes, man, because like somebody literally stopped in the middle of the road because they had ran into the back of somebody. Again, I don't know who, you know, what happened. And like, I stopped. I literally had to stop. Literally had to get into the other lane and stop. And the dude, like, he just, I don't know if he was concussed, but I'm like, it's 2 other lanes of traffic. It's a whole right lane over here that they still rolling. It's a lane right here beside me. And he just, I mean, like, he just walks off to the side of the road. I'm like, I guess this is your opportunity to walk, man, because, I mean, I got traffic stopped or whatever, but that could have been a situation, man, you know, but, you know, man, it's fun to ride, man, but I don't know if it's COVID. But it don't seem, but then again, you know what? I know what the biggest change is. I know exactly what the biggest change is. I come from OTR, basically, driving a 62 mile an hour truck. And I didn't necessarily find myself in a situation like this. The only time I ever found myself in a situation like this, and I literally lost my cool. I don't remember where I was. I was somewhere up north. And I hopped in the left lane. And I hopped in the left lane way, way back because I seen a truck. They were coming around one of the mergings where you make the whole loop, like the horseshoe, and get back on there. So I'm 62 miles an hour. So by the time I catch this truck, I pass it and I get like right in front of, I'm literally like right in front of the truck. So I turn the signal light on and I go over. And the guy like, God dang, TMC, you came right in front of me. Like, hey, man, I let you on the interstate, man, so whatever. And he was like, well, man, you could have, you know, with the whoop. And I'm like, I let you on the interstate. I'm 62 miles an hour. I'm sure you've been out here long enough to know a TMZ truck goes 62 miles an hour. I let you over. I let you merge onto the interstate because I didn't want to break my speed. So you knew I wasn't going to stay in the left lane. You knew I was maxed out. You knew that you didn't see me pulling off as you were speeding up. So just let me get over. You hop in the left lane, you go by. He just kept talking, man. I just snapped. I was like, man, F you. I don't want to hear that. F you. And he hopped in the left lane and drove around. Because I'm like, look, man, I don't want to hear it. I literally do not want to hear it. I'm not going to stay in the left lane so you and the 6 cars behind you can leave me out there, which is going to lead to 6 or 7 more cars coming and getting out there. I did that too many times at TMC, and I'm like, no. I'm trying to be a good Samaritan. I'm looking out for you, and you up here, you know, talking about, you came, like, my man, you seen you saw the signal. I signal. This is what I do. I turn my signal on, and I'll pause for a few seconds to let you see that you see it, and I come over. But you acting like I ran you into the shoulder. It's crazy. It is crazy. But yeah, man, I'm about to run in here, man, take me a shower, give me some of this Dennis. Man, it's starting to feel like Gary everywhere I go, man. I can't get away from the rain. I can't get away from the cold. I at least figured it'd be about 80 something over here, but it's all good. Save me some diesel because I ain't got to idle the truck tonight. Unless it get too cold, I'm about to turn it on. But yeah, man, eventful day. But I'm gonna get with y'all later, man. Be safe out there. Drive for yourself and others, cause nobody else cares.